So do you agree that women who purposefully have children with men who they don't think are responsible, right? They complain that they ain't, on Twitter, or they've been complaining since they met these guys. They've seen like this guy is not about anything. Do you think women are to blame for the situations that they're in if that's the type of man they decide to have kids with?
Oh.
Accountability right here is hard, right?
Women, yeah, you said, do I think
Why is it
women
so hard?
are the
Why is it so
blame?
hard, man? Yo, what's up, YouTube? My name is Chisha Zed. I'm back with another No Cap show for you guys. Yes, the cap is back, man. The cap is back. It's been a while since I've had a show again, but here we are. We've got a new guest with us here today. As you know, man, this is the show with the most lies on YouTube. We'll see how this goes today. But first, we got to introduce our guest. Could you please introduce yourself to the people? Let them know your name, your age, and where you're from.
Hey, my name's Lola. I am 26, and I am originally from the Bronx, New York, but I've been living in San Diego, California for 9 years.
Very cool. How do you like San Diego?
The weather's cool.
Yeah, it's a clean place,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot cleaner than LA. I love LA, but the last time I was in San Diego, I was like, this place is clean.
Clean as hell. You know why?
Why?
The littering fee is $1,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep it clean too.
Right. I'm good.
So guys, today we're going to be reacting to a post. This is a post from Spiritual Word. I know you guys have actually seen videos of me react to them in the past. I'm not going to waste any more time, and we're going to get right into this. This post was shared on Instagram. If you guys haven't added me on Instagram yet, make sure to add me. I also put our guest's link down there too and her handle. But the post reads, "For a generation that can't find no good man, you're sure is pregnant a lot." Dang. Shots fired.
Well, shit.
Some shade thrown. You know what I mean?
That was a lot of shade.
That was a deep post. I shared this on my community page a while back, and I said, wow, that's a mind kind of like mind bug right there when you think of that post. It's like, yeah, we can't find good men out there. But before we get into it, what do you think of the post itself? Is it true or is it false?
It is shady. However, I could see some truth to it, just because it seemed like everybody and their mama pregnant these days.
Dang. Say it again.
But
One more time.
I said it seemed like everyone and their mama pregnant these days.
Hey, she said it, not me, guys.
However,
now she's gonna clean it up.
No. I was gonna say, like, at the same time, people be like, "Hey, men ain't, they trash.
Yeah,
men are garbage. They're only good for one thing." So I don't know. It's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on.
I agree with you. Hey, I'm impressed, man. You kept it real on the No Cap show. No cap so far. So yeah, what's this whole thing about women, being okay with finding men that they want to have kids with, but when it comes to actually finding like a nice guy, they complain. They act like they don't exist. That's mind blowing to me. They're having kids with the guys that they complain about. What's up with that? Why do women operate like that? You explain to me. You are a woman. I need to know.
Why do women move like that? Well, from my perspective, every woman is different. From my perspective, I feel like women don't want to be with a man who is easily either like manipulated or easily controlled. And it seems like a lot of the times the nice guys, they're too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can probably...
So you're actually saying like they are nice guys, they just don't go after them.
What do you mean? That there are nice guys out there?
Yeah, but they just don't go after them because they're easily controlled and like
in my opinion, yeah.
So I agree with you, right? And I think why don't we change that nice guy to a good man, a good responsible man. Let's do that, because I believe there's a difference between a responsible good man and a nice guy, right? I have videos about this on my channel. It's like, be the good responsible guy who has a backbone and doesn't take shit from women, because that's what we find attractive at the end of the day. And,
but I was going to say, a lot of women really like that.
Yeah. This is my question.
Okay.
Why are they skipping the good men? Because there are good men out here that they could be having these kids with.
That's true. There are good men out there. However, I think some of us women are wired to go after the things that aren't the best for us.
Oof.
Why? And I feel like, yes, I think we can say because of trauma and conditioning and previous experiences that we're accustomed to receiving a certain kind of energy and dealing with certain things, that we've gotten to a point where it's like, well, this is what I'm used to. This is what I feel like I want and need, even though I have to go through all of these things. It's what I know.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
How about I'll say it like this, right? And you did that you answered it, but I just said something right there. Do you think it just comes down to the sex? And these are the men they just find sexually attractive. They don't care about them being good guys. They just have good dick. I mean, those are some of the comments that were underneath the post. Because a lot of girls were like, well, I didn't say the D wasn't good. I was like, huh. I said, you know what? That makes more sense. I feel like there's a confusion in priorities there with a lot of modern women today, of where they'll have kids with the guy who has the good D, but the guy who's also responsible, maybe he can't just lay around and like smash you whenever you want him to, because he's working 80 hours a week and he has a business and he has a lot of things going on. You might have to be alone at home. They don't want that. They like the guy that's sort of, doesn't have any direction and they've got to complain about him, but hey, he's putting it down in the bedroom. And I think there's a lot to do with it.
And I feel like it's because us women, we tend to be very selfish, in the sense of like, we want everything to, appease us and cater to us. So when we're not receiving that, it's like, oh, well, fuck him. He don't care about me. He's not filling my boxes, type of thing. So I see what you mean in that terms of like, women prefer the one who has nothing going on because he's able to cater to her time and attention. And I think that goes to the argument of like, well, do you want to babysit someone, or do you want, or do you want to, make time for someone who makes time for you, type of thing.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Why haven't you decided to be a single mother?
I live in America. What the fuck?
I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy here. This is what I mean. Like, a lot of women today plan to be single mothers. Like, they don't view family as a man, a wife, husband, wife, and a kid. It's kind of like, I want kids. And either way, I don't care who's involved. I don't need that masculine role to be there. They just want kids. So what do you think is different from the way those men, the way those women think from the way you think? Is it just financially based for you? Is that why you said you live in America?
It's not just financially based for me. It's also considering the fact that, well, I grew up in a single parent home, and I felt the unbalance from that. And even as I got older, I could see how just having one parent dominate, that area of my life, I could see how that affected me in ways that weren't like the most positive, you know what I'm saying? And so there's that, is understanding the importance of having the masculine and feminine energy in the home, just because that's what it takes to create you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not just financial for me, it's, and understanding biology, energy, the way that things work. And we need that balance regardless. And I feel like a lot of women are more inclined to want to be single mothers just because we grew up with single moms.
Yeah.
They're the ones who took care of us. And I feel like they romanticize that experience of their moms. They don't really see the struggle that they had to go through.
Until they're in it.
Exactly.
And they're
until
complaining
they're in it.
On Twitter and Instagram.
Right. I feel like a lot of women can have that mentality of like, well, my mom did it, I could do it. But our moms didn't have a choice.
Got you. So for women who are out here having kids with men who they know aren't balanced or suitable, right, to be father figures or aren't married to those actual men, do you think that's problematic?
It is problematic in the sense of like, it can be problematic if
How about
she
overall
has that awareness.
For the child here,
It is.
We got to focus on
For the child, yes, because it's just introducing more, uncertainty into that kid's life and confusion, just because, if she's still interacting with, her baby's father, then who knows what that dynamic is like. And the child is growing up seeing that. So it can be very confusing. Yeah. And confusion, and children don't need confusion growing up, because then that just causes more, just a unstable foundation from when they grow up. So then when they get to like teen years and time to be an adult, because they don't have a very stable foundation, what a proper male or female or, just a romantic dynamic is supposed to look like, because it's all misconstrued, that's going to later affect them as they continue to get older and how they now interact with people, friends, romantic partners and stuff like that. And then it just becomes this whole cycle of people just treating each other not the best.
So do you agree that women who purposefully have children with men who they don't think are responsible, right? They complain that they ain't shit, on Twitter, or they've been complaining since they met these guys. They've seen like, this guy is not about anything. He's not, he's good in bed, or he's exciting, because women enjoy that excitement at the end of the day. But overall, he's heading nowhere. Do you think women are to blame for the situations that they're in if that's the type of man they decide to have kids with?
Oh.
Accountability right here is hard, right?
Yeah, you said, do I think
Why is it
women
so hard?
are the
Why is it so
blame?
hard, man? It's like, I think yes. The answer there is yes, right? The answer there is yes.
It's like similar to what I watched one of your videos, and the girl was like, she got to hold it down for her sisters, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I feel
Why
that.
is that?
It's like,
why is
that.
It's hard, huh? To say like women are wrong in this particular situation.
It is hard. It is hard, but
why?
Why?
Yeah. Why is it difficult to admit that? I'm always fascinated by that.
Because I feel like once we admit that we're wrong, we have to do the internal work to realize all the ways that we are wrong, and we keep perpetuating the wrongness. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's deep. Once you accept it, you have to do the deep work, because it's a lot of shit.
Good answer.
And I feel like a lot of women aren't ready for that, which is why they, are victims, or they like to project and blame others.
Good answer on that, man. You're right. People avoid the work. People avoid the work in a lot of ways, and they don't want to admit that. Guys who come on my channel, and I'll talk about like, hey, a man is supposed to be on his purpose. You're supposed to be out here working, you know what I mean? Making money, improving yourself every day, hit that gym. And some guys are just like, man, F you. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to have to do anything. And they're hesitant. Why? They don't want to accept that women are attracted to guys who are leaders, who possess that more like alpha mentality, because it means that now they got to look at their life and be like, where do I need to improve? Because it's not easy, right? It's not easy to improve, and people want to avoid that. So I think that was a really good answer.
No, it's a fact because honestly, that's something that I had to do recently for myself. Just being held up that mirror to me and be like, damn, like I ain't shit, you know.
Yeah.
And just really doing that internal work and recognize the ways that I was playing into the princess theory, my roommate likes to call it.
Princess theory.
Yeah, of us women feeling like we have to be catered to. Everything has to be brought to us. Like we don't have to do the work, because I have a vagina.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it if I don't want to. Everything gotta go by what I say.
Yeah. Women are programmed
And
young for that princess theory stuff. I did a video recently that talked about how a lot of Disney movies teach women to sort of live in that I deserve mentality, right? They have that like Cinderella syndrome or that princess
I mean, think
mindset
about
going
it.
on.
Who was it? Do you know who Shan Brody is?
Shan Brody. No. What does she
Yeah.
do?
She is a content creator. She is like a, sorry if I mess this up, girl. She's like a sex therapist.
Got you.
She's in school right now. She's a badass. But she actually made a post on Instagram, I feel a few months ago, and she was talking about how the movies that are catered to us growing up is always like revolved around like the teenage girl coming to age and like falling in love.
Yeah.
Like she has nothing else going for her except getting this dude. She has this crush on this guy. Or the princesses, they get saved by this prince. When you look at the movies and the stories that we grow up on for us girls, it's always revolved around romance and having a romantic partner come save us. Like we have nothing else going on compared to like stories for boys where yes, girls are a part of it, but they have like some sort of like academics going on, athletics going on. There's so much more involved in their life, as opposed to just their romantic interest into the opposite sex or the same sex.
Got you.
So I feel like we've been, like you said, we've been programmed and primed since we were young to have this mindset of like, well, all I really want is my Prince Charming to come, or I just want the love life of my dreams.
Yeah.
Like fuck everything else. Like this is what I'm geared to. This is what I'm working towards. And I feel like that on top of how society today is working, really empowering the woman in really weird ways. It's kind of intertwined and turning into what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. There's a level of entitlement that comes that a lot of women have, because guys, we have to face the harsh realities of life. A lot of the times we can't escape the fact that we're going to get called out for being broke. You're expected to pay for that first date. But a woman, you can kind of, especially if you're an attractive woman, you can kind of just like live in this fantasy world where if you're fooled by those Disney fairy tale stories, you don't even think I need to do anything as a woman to please a man. That's the other side of it. It's like a lot of women don't know what they bring to the table or what a man wants. All that they know is what they want, and they think they're awesome, which is cool if you plan to stay by yourself for the rest of your life. But if you plan to deal with like a man and actually get along with them, then you gotta kind of face these harsh realities in life. Just like these women who think, hey, I want a kid, so I'm just gonna have a kid with the first guy I see who I'm extremely attracted to, when you haven't really sat down and said, hey, what type of qualities does this guy bring to the table? If he already has another baby mama and he's treating her badly, what makes you think you're special, right? Because some of them would take pride in like being baby mama 1 and like 2 and not 5 or 6, or just look at his own life. And if you choose to go after a guy and have kids with a guy whose life, who you can obviously tell by observing, is just a mess, then I believe as a woman, that's your fault. Like, you made that bed. Now you got to sleep in it, and you don't get to complain. At least you can, but you just won't get any sympathy from people that really understand what's going on.
Because at some point you have to take accountability for your actions.
At some point it's got to happen, man. It's just got to happen. And there's this thing in our society where it's like, no, women, you can't tell a woman she's wrong. It's like, it's in the air, you know, people feel it. You hear people telling a woman like women shouldn't do this. You can't. But you can post all day about men are dogs, men are this way, and criticize men.
Yeah, it's not
but a
fair.
moment a man gets on a platform like myself and talks about situations like this and says, you know, here are things that women do and can do to improve their lives. It's like, oh, that guy right there, he does not like women. He's terrible person. How dare you tell a woman how to live her life? And just like, okay, hey, keep on dealing with what you're dealing with. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but there's reasons why.
It's
Go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna say, considering the history that women have, you know, just like being abused and not having rights and stuff. In that sense, I can see how women can be fueled with that entitlement. To this day, parts of me still feels that, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that's become an issue now is that it's generated this other sense of entitlement that it's pushed accountability out of the window. Like, women feel like they can do whatever and lie, you know what I'm saying, on other people, or just do terrible things to people, and that's the part that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, just to clarify that, just like women have the ability to do what they want, as long as it's not disrespecting nobody and exploiting nobody. And that's the issue.
I agree. I'll say this too: women have everything, have the right to do whatever they want, and also accept the consequences and can't complain about their decisions.
Right.
Because that's where the confusion happens. Like,
because that's reality.
Yes.
That's how it works for everybody.
Exactly. You know, because the same girl who will go and will, like in the black community, for example, will date some guy who really is just a mess and have kids with him, she will then now start preaching black men ain't shit. You know what I mean? And stuff like that, where it's like, are you sure? Like, have you really thought about like the choices you're making? Because this probably has more to do with choices you're making than black men as a whole, you know? Yeah. But anyways, I appreciate you for keeping it real.
Also, they really tie black men into white patriarchy, which frustrates me. Just because, like, you know that white men ain't shit, so you just tie in all men into it when it's like, it's not all men. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I just thought I had to throw that in there.
No problem. No problem. What did you mean by tying them into white patriarchy?
Well, they say patriarchy, right? A lot of times women say, like, you know, fuck the patriarchy, you know, they blah, 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 this and this and that. But really what they mean is fuck white patriarchy. But by saying patriarchy, they just add in all men, as if all men are at fault. When in all reality, it is white men. Like, systematically wise.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't buy that either. You know, I don't believe in a patriarchy right now. We don't live in a patriarchy. I don't believe that.
No.
We live in a gynocentric society. You know, gyno, focused on women. Let's be honest. When I go to, just the other day, somebody was telling me they were on Indeed, right? They remembered during like Women's Month a while back, they changed their logo on Indeed to like black woman with the fro. I thought like, wow, then that stuff is everywhere. Now you get more hate for saying anything and challenging any ideas that kind of support like the female narrative, if you challenge it, you get way more hate than saying, "Oh yeah, men ain't shit." Even celebrities.
Oh yeah, what?
I said you get more hate if you challenge female empowerment ideas now than you will if you talk about like, "Oh yeah, men ain't shit" and all this other stuff. A lot of our structure right now really empower women. It's all set up to empower women. A lot of platforms, media platforms, brands, they push women. We no longer live in this so-called patriarchy. You know, that's just a term that people use to kind of gaslight. But the truth is, you want to be successful today, instead of saying what you really think, get on a platform and just speak about how women are awesome and women need to do this and do that, and women, we need more women in power, and men are terrible, and you know, you're this thing I saw on TikTok, you're dating your oppressor, you know, that's some crazy stuff. It's kind of happening right now. The tides have changed. You know, this patriarchy thing doesn't really exist.
I guess in a societal sense, yes. I think when I talk about living in a patriarchy, I more so think about the government officials, you know, running shit all up in there. It's mostly white men all up in those offices.
But okay, but let's look at some of the campaigns they push for, right? They push for more female empowerment. I mean, for God's sakes, we have the first female vice president.
But who really running the strings? They pushing for that, but who really running the strings?
Well, if they're pushing for women, does it matter who's running it? Is it about women having more? So women want to run it.
They just feeding into what is in.
Is
right
it
now.
about women having more power, like the first female black president? I mean, the first female black vice president. Is it about that and actual seeing change?
Might as well be president.
Is it about? Is it about actually seeing change, or is it about we want to take over everything? What's wrong with a world? Let's say if a world that actually was like, hey, you know, this place has been created equal for all and everybody, equal opportunities, what we have right now that I believe we have, you know, we've made way more progress. Things have changed drastically.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
You feel me?
I see, and I understand. I feel like it's more of a play because they have the awareness that this is the direction where society is going. Of like, oh, all these women have these power. Let's use it to our advantage. But at the end of the day,
but how are they using it to their advantage?
Strings. How?
Yeah.
Placing people in, like Madam Vice President.
Oh! You said they're using it to our advantage by placing people like her in power?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that a woman in power?
But if you don't want to get too political.
Isn't that what you want?
Not her.
Well, that's a different discussion. But I think the fact that a woman is in a more powerful position, isn't that like a lot of progress that's been made? If we get to like, I understand there's a difference in opinions of like, hey, I want this woman instead of this woman. That, you know, that's not what female empowerment is about, right?
You mean like the women in general being in a position of
woman
power.
Being able to take a leadership position in government like she has. That's a stride in the direction that female empowerment wants to push it. But you're saying you want women to pull the strings.
I didn't say that.
No?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I was tying into the point of the patriarchy still existing because of who is pulling the strings, which right now aren't women. That was the point I was trying to
Got you.
make.
Well, I guess we can just agree to disagree on that one. But overall, you know, good conversation. I enjoyed that you were honest about the whole accountability thing when it came to women who complain about a lack of good men, because this is the No Cap show and people don't really keep it this honest a lot of times on the show. So I appreciate you for keeping it real.
Of course, I've tried. I've been broken into with like I said, I have guy roommates and we've had conversations where I've really had to be like, oh man,
yeah,
we really ain't shit, huh? Because it's different. Like it's different. It's different types of conversation when you actually talk to men, but also listen. That's one thing that I noticed about myself. I have selective hearing, and I used to listen to respond as opposed to understand, especially when it comes time to having conversations about like black males and black women interacting and that whole dynamic. And I feel like I am not the only one, just because we have this need to be right.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you actually listen to the male perspective, I've learned a lot. And I feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of women, can learn and benefit from listening to your male friends.
That's what's up. I appreciate that. That's so on point, man. So on point. Is like that listening factor is huge. It really is. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, man. Show your boy some love. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Let us know what you thought of the conversation. If you agreed, if you didn't agree, maybe you have a different perspective. Let us know. Lola, I appreciate you for coming to
of course.
Episode
Thanks for having
No
me.
Cap Show for sure. Hey guys, I'm out. Until next time. Peace.
Cap.